This podcast is for conversation and educational purposes only. I am not, let me repeat, not a mental health clinician that's allowed to give you medical advice to go do some dumb shit. Yes, I said dumb shit. I do curse to express my individuality, so if that offends you, then please don't motherfucking listen. Now, y'all, enjoy the show. Are you tired of that bullshit? Toxic people in relationships. You may be dealing with a narcissist. Who puts you down in every argument. You might be fighting your depression. Trying to figure out the lesson.
Damn, what's the lesson?
Maybe you're looking for your soulmate.
Where she at? Where he at?
But the dating scene ain't looking great. Well, I'm two keys and I'm in town.
What's up?
I'm gonna help you lay them burdens down. So please enjoy this episode of the 69ers Chronicles. Happy birthday to me.
For me?
Happy birthday to Keith.
For me?
Happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday to me.
For me?
Yeah.
Hey.
Okay. It's my birthday. It's my birthday. It's my birthday. It's my birthday. And my podcast anniversary. And my podcast anniversary. Turn up. It's my birthday. It's my birthday. It's my birthday. It's my birthday. And my podcast anniversary. Happy birthday, bitch, to me. They call me Nurse 2 Keys, cause I'm a bona fide hustler. They call me get it out the mud, bitch, I'm Big Mama. Cool ass bitch, yeah, she on her shit. Degrees on top of the grease, yeah, I got it from the bottom. Yeah, got a podcast, work full time. Hosting engineer, hope you hear me loud and clear. Got a podcast, work full time. Got hosting engineer, I hope you hear me clear. Yeah, cause it's my birthday. Yeah, cause it's my birthday. Yeah, cause it's my birthday. My podcast anniversary. Yeah.
So let's get to this limerence. Attachment styles. Alright, y'all. Well, okay. I love the fact that I just said cut it, and it sounds like somebody cut it, but I'm the only person that cuts it because I am the engineer. I am the creator. I am the host. I am the graphic designer. I am the audio engineer, as you heard. I am everything. I'm a one-man band. And welcome to the 69ers Chronicles podcast, where we sip tea. Y'all, where is your tea? If you're new to this podcast, this is where you sip your tea, okay? Where's my tea? Whatever it is, if it's wine. Okay, one more time. Where's my tea or Hennessy or coffee or what makes you feel great? Okay, one more time. For real, let's go. Where's my tea? Okay, y'all. And as you've heard, it is my motherfucking birthday. And the third year of the anniversary of the 69ers Chronicles podcast. So I want to thank you for my returning listeners and everybody that's new that's tuning in, y'all. We're going to get straight to it. Last episode, we talked about limerence. We talked about what limerence is. Honey, juicy, y'all. It's juicy. We talked about what limerence is and it versus infatuation versus love. And so because I realized that limerence is an attachment style, like a codependency. It's an attachment style. I feel compelled to talk about attachment styles today because attachment styles are very important to learn how you attach to people and whether you insecure or you're secure. Okay, limerence has an attachment style, and there's 3 others. So that's what we're going to talk about today with my fancy friend. I'm so happy she is here. I am just delighted when I tell you this is one of my greatest friends. So, friend, we got to sip one. Where your cup at? Where's my tea? Come on. You ready? Okay, thank you. That's how you come in to a party. So we're relaxing. We are professionals, but we're being transparent. We're being vulnerable, and we also are humans. So as I said before in the disclaimer, this podcast is for conversation and educational purposes only. I am not, let me repeat, not a mental health clinician that's allowed to give you medical advice to go do some dumb shit. Yes, I said dumb shit. If you're still listening by now, you don't care about my cuss words. Thank you. I love you. So, y'all, I got my baby, Empress Elle. She is a great friend of mine. She is here. We're talking about attachment styles. Who else to better talk to, conversate with? Can you talk to me? I really wanna meet you. Can I talk to you? We gonna get a copyright. Okay, let's start. Hello, Empress Elle. Will you introduce yourself to the people?
I will. Hi, everybody. First of all, happy birthday to my friend. Happy anniversary. I'm not going to sing the song because copyright. But I'm so proud of you, and I'm so honored to be here with you and everybody today talking about attachment styles. As a spiritual advisor, an intuitive reader, and an empathetic coach, attachment bonds is something that I talk about a lot with a lot of my clients, almost all of them, honestly. But, if you find yourself behaving in puzzling ways or self-destructive ways in your relationship, if you repeatedly feel like you're making the same mistakes over and over in your romantic relationships, or if you just feel like you struggle to form meaningful connections in the first place, like you date the wrong people over and over, or you choose the wrong friends over and over.
I ain't talked to you in a minute. How you know my business? Did we talk about this? Like, what happened? Is this bitch over here reading me? Is she spying on me? I'm just trying to figure out, honey, because you got some telekinesis and something going on, honey. That's our intuitive reader and coach, honey. Come on, let's dig into it. Okay, so, sis, we are going to talk about, I'm just going to give a brief introduction of what I'm not editing that, of what Limerence is. And then we're going to go into the attachment styles.
Let's do it.
Let's do it, bitch. So, Limerence was coined by Dr. Dorothy Tenov, 10 of 10 of one of them, Dr. T. And she coined the term limerence. And so, limerence is basically like an infatuation that you would have with somebody. You will be called the limerent. And then you have your person that you're in love with. That's the limerent object, because it could be a person, it could be something else, but the limerent object is the ally. So the stalker is and look, this is for entertainment. The stalker is the limerence, and the stalked is the ally. Okay, but in order to be that in love with somebody, it's unhealthy. You got to think about how you got there. And so we're going to talk about 4 attachment styles. Every one of y'all fits in one of them. You could be semi-ish in the other and more in the other, or at one stage of your life be a part of one, and then one stage of your life be a part of another. Mm-hmm. Like you don't stay in the insecure ones, the 3 ones. We're going to go over each one. You want to go for the insecure attachment style. And we're going to get into all this so you can correct this shit. If it sounds like you, baby, wear it. Carry your cross. But at the end of the day, honey, you will resurrect. And that's on what?
Period.
Okay. So, Sister Cat,
yes.
Let's talk about these attachment styles, girl.
And let's talk about it. So, I think the first thing is for everyone who may be experiencing one of these attachment styles, the first thing is just to remember that our brains are fully capable of change throughout our lives, right? So by identifying your specific attachment style, you can kind of learn how to manage this, how to, challenge your own insecurities, how to develop a more securely attached way of relating to others and building, better and stronger and happier relationships.
Sounds interesting. Sounds like where I'm trying to be. But there's steps to get there. And so there's 3 of them because nobody's perfect. So let's get to the first attachment style.
All right. So our first attachment style is going to be the anxious attachment style. And so people with an anxious attachment style is also referred to sometimes as an anxious preoccupied style. People with this style are often anxious and uncertain in their relationships. They can lack self-esteem, but they crave emotional intimacy. But the biggest thing is that they just worry that other people don't want to be with them. And it's a big worry, and it's a serious and a real worry that people with this style have. So if you have this anxious style, you could be embarrassed about, like being too clingy or your constant need for love and attention. Or you could just feel, very fearful and have a lot of anxiety about whether or not your partner really loves you.
Or you could be angry and have an attitude with the motherfucker like, for real, I am so serious. And I know that you, Empress Elle, you have been through a phase of that, because you learn from that phase eventually. You don't like the way it feels. Some don't. But tell me a time, or do you remember a time when you were so in love with somebody?
Oh, yes.
Honey, can't sleep, baby. I can't breathe, baby. I can't live, baby. Come, baby.
Absolutely.
Without you. And then, honey, when the love was not reciprocated, you had an attitude.
A big attitude.
A big,
let me tell you.
Come tell me about it, sister.
Well, first of all, of course, I've experienced this and I've shown up this way in relationships because we're all human, right? And
amen.
These attachment styles are all on the same frequency. And we can all, phase in and out of each one of these different styles or encompass all of the styles at one time, which we'll talk about in one of these other styles that's coming up. But absolutely. And when I think about that connection that I was in, it's like I really wanted to be in a relationship and I craved feelings of closeness and just having intimacy with, someone else. But I really struggled to feel like I could trust or fully rely on that partner. And at some points, I found that, like, being in an intimate relationship could completely consume me and take over my life. And I could find myself fixated on the other person.
Girl, fixated. Honey.
I'd find it hard to observe boundaries, to create boundaries. I felt like space and distance from my partner, was a threat, and it would just provoke me into panicking and being angry and, what does this mean?
Creating stories.
Yes, but it all had to do with, my sense of self-worth. And at the time, and, when I was showing up these ways, and as I continue to show up these ways and still work through these attachment styles, when I catch myself, I realize that I'm basing my sense of self-worth on how I'm being treated in this relationship.
And I'm telling you, some good ding-a-ling. I'm talking about that good old
penis.
It will be, honey, it'll change your perspective. So y'all better watch out. Because in a minute, you're going to be mad because you got that penis. And then you're going to be like, I'm trying to tell you, we're moving in a different direction. So, however, let's get to the next attachment style. This is getting juicy, sis. What's the next attachment style?
The next style is T, sis.
T.
It's T because this is how I find myself showing up currently. I wouldn't say currently. I would say in recent times. But if I had to identify with any of the styles,
This is T.
this is T.
Okay, so since this is T, we do need a drink break. Hey, where's my tea? How you feeling over there?
Feeling good.
Me too, girl. Let's get to the next attachment style. Which one we gonna talk about? Oh, we already said. What is it?
The avoidant, dismissive.
Oh Lord. Oh Lord.
You oh Lord, and because you know your friend, don't you? You know
Oh
me.
girl. Oh Lord.
So
And ain't nothing to cut a bitch off.
Cut that bitch off.
we're not gonna do it. Stop it. Cut
Yeah.
it out.
It ain't nothing to cut a bitch off. Stop playing with me. Oh, stop playing with me. Okay.
So with this avoidant, dismissive style, this insecure attachment style, I find myself showing up as sometimes. It's the opposite of the previous one, the anxious or preoccupied attachment style. So instead of craving intimacy, like most people, I'm so sometimes wary and just cautious of closeness that I try to avoid emotional connections with others. Okay? I just rather not rely on others or have others rely on me.
That's the next stage in life. After you be done being a limerent, you start to stop being ignorant, and then you close your fucking self off.
Yeah, you start finding it difficult to tolerate emotional intimacy. You just start to value your independence and your freedom to the point that you can't really feel comfortable, or you can feel uncomfortable with, or even feel stifled by intimacy and closeness in a romantic relationship. So if you see yourself or feel like an independent person, you're content to care for yourself, you feel like you don't need others. Or it could be that, the more someone tries to get close to you, or the needier your partner becomes, the more you withdraw from them.
Yes,
The more
girl.
you begin to avoid them.
Oh, this bitch raiding me again.
Okay, you can be uncomfortable with your emotions, and you probably get told, you're cold, you're distant, you're closed off. And your response to that is, well, you're too needy. Okay, and with that, you're too needy, you have a tendency to minimize, or let me say it this way, because this is tea, right?
Oh, where's my tea, y'all? Where's my tea? I'm sorry, y'all. Every time she said tea, we got to drink. Keep on saying it.
Okay, but I am prone to minimizing or disregarding my partner's feelings. Okay. You could have the tendency to keep secrets from your partner, engage in, affairs and little flirtations and little situations. And sometimes you might even find yourself ending a relationship because you want your sense of freedom back. And so you might prefer like a fleeting, casual type of relationship.
Girl, I be like, ready to go. I ain't got time. I ain't got...
But here's the kicker. Okay?
Okay.
Here's the kicker. You may think that you don't need these relationships or closeness or intimacy, but you do. We all do. Like, we are all hardwired for a connection and deep connection. Like, even someone like myself who shows up most often with this avoidant, dismissive style, even I want a close and meaningful relationship.
You know what you want to do?
I just have to overcome.
But you know what you did at
What I do.
first?
What?
You did that.
Indeed.
But you grew. I know.
But if I could have only overcome my deep-seated fears of intimacy,
Yeah.
maybe I'd have a little ring on it or something by now. Who knows?
But, I still feel like even though we go through all these levels, everybody's journey is a journey. I feel like as long as you're a good person, you're trying to do right. You ain't here robbing and killing, stealing and selling coochie for $40. So,
You know,
yeah, Ive, you doing all right?
I think we all are. We all
Yeah.
are giving, it our best shot every day.
Yep.
And so we're doing the darn thing, all of us.
And
Me, you, them.
we gonna take it like you said, one day at a time. The next attachment style, Sister Cat. Which one is this? Are we ready? Are
We're
y'all
ready.
still up? Okay, let's go.
So this one is the disorganized or disoriented attachment style. This can also be referred to as a fearful, avoidant attachment style. And this one can stem from an intense fear that stems from childhood. It can be in the form of neglect or abuse. But adults who have this style tend to feel like they don't deserve love or closeness in a relationship. And it's because a lot of times we haven't learned to self-soothe our emotions. So both relationships and our experiences in the world can be extremely frightening and unsafe. And especially if you've experienced abuse as a child, then a lot of times you'll try to replicate or create that same abusive pattern in behavior as an adult.
So, for example, like when you grow up, you're a kid, you're naive, you're with your parents, you start to see life and life's view from your perspective. And so with trauma informed care, you kind of got to go back there to see like what happened. Because if you dealt with neglect, if you dealt with sexual abuse, if you dealt with anything mental, that shapes your view as a kid, and that's how you start looking at the world like everybody's crooked now. That trust, you remember that trust you were talking about?
Mm-hmm.
You don't have that trust no more. Now you're like, oh, I thought the world was all bubbly and gold. No, it's shit covered in gold.
Yeah. It's because you start to find your intimate relationships very confusing. They're unsettling. You often find yourself swinging between high emotional extremes of love and then high emotional extremes of hate for your partner. I mean, you can become insensitive towards your partner, selfish, untrusting, controlling. Like, you could even start to display abusive behaviors. And the kicker is you can be just as hard on yourself as you're being on those around you. And so in turn, you start to show antisocial behavior patterns. You could turn to alcohol or drugs or be prone to aggression because of these feelings. So while you kind of crave the security of a meaningful and safe, intimate relationship, you also feel unworthy of love and you're terrified of getting hurt again. Okay, so that hurt you experienced in childhood, you fear it with this attachment style.
Yep. So it's like I want you, but then I don't want you. But then I want you again. But then I don't want you again.
Now, I do want to clear something up before we move on to the final attachment style. Is that okay?
Amen. Get it to it, sister.
All right. So you hear us talking a lot about how these attachment styles can be attributed to things that we experience in our childhood, and we're talking about neglect and things from caregivers that don't sound very good. But what I want to clear up is that even conscious parents may or may not have been successful at creating a secure attachment bond with you as an infant. But it's not always because of some terrible abuse or, lack of love or lack of anything. There are a lot of different reasons you may have experienced things that led to you experiencing these insecure attachment styles. It could have been that you had a young or inexperienced caregiver. Maybe they lacked the necessary parenting skills, to help set you up for success, for a secure attachment style, which is the last style. Or maybe your caregiver was experiencing depression. Maybe they had hormonal issues, okay? Maybe they were addicted to drug or other alcohol. Maybe they had some type of traumatic experience, such as a serious illness or accident, which interrupted or prevented the attachment process between you and that caregiver.
Or a parent that was on drugs, so their parent was on drugs, so they had to deal with trauma, poverty.
Yeah. But there are so many different reasons why you could be experiencing this. So I just want to clear that up and make sure we give our parents some grace and mercy.
Amen.
All right.
Because I swear, every time Kabor's like, Mom, when I go to school, I want to go to college, and I'm ready to leave. Like, you and looking at me like, girl, you ain't going no motherfucking where. You gonna leave me? That's what to feel bad. But I think every parent may go through that. At least their kids like, Mom, you suck in so many ways. But black parents, you already know you can't talk to a black parent like that. You get smacked through your teeth next Sunday.
That's another episode.
Yes. So let's get to, I love it. Y'all, if y'all agree or you agree with any attachment style, talk about it in the comments. Let's get this little algorithm going. And thank you if you're still tuning in. So let's get to the last attachment style. Here we go. All right, sister cats, we done came to the final. She be giving us the tea, baby, giving us the tea. The final, my Empress Elle. Okay, intuitive tarot reader and coach. When I tell you, she's bringing the pain. Y'all better come in. Your pain is healing. What is that? Beauty is pain. You know, you get your hair tight as hell, but you're going to be cute, okay? And that's on what?
Period.
Okay, secure. Let's talk about being secure.
All right. So a secure attachment style is when you find yourself being more empathetic. You're able to set appropriate boundaries. You feel more safe and stable and more satisfied with your close relationships. Most people with a secure attachment style don't fear being on their own, but they do thrive and they're happier in close and meaningful relationships. Okay? But don't get it twisted. Just because you are experiencing a secure attachment style doesn't mean that you're perfect or that you won't experience any relationship problems, but you are more likely to feel secure enough to take responsibility for your own mistakes. And you're willing to seek help and support when you need it.
And do the work.
And
it's mutual. That's something I love about this attachment style. It's mutual. I want you just as much as you want me. Or, sometimes, shit change. But as long as that person is willing to stick it out with you, let you go through your little hissy fit, because, we are human. Yeah. That amygdala. I've been studying for this exam. That amygdala be hijacking your emotions, and it come quick. But you know what? It's like when you got a motherfucker that will sit there and go through that with you and still support you. Sometimes we both sound crazy. But the fact that we can just agree to disagree. Yeah. We can get through this and plan ours. What's your experience? Tell me what the people need to know, Empress Elle, about.
So, to your point of being supported by your partner, when you're experiencing this secure attachment style, you're just as happy for your partner as they are for you, and you're able to rely on each other for support, unlike an avoidant style. Okay, but the biggest thing is that when you do have setbacks or disagreements or disappointment in your relationships, and really just in any part of life, you're resilient enough to kind of bounce back from those things. Like, you're able to maintain your emotional balance. You can seek out healthy ways to manage conflict in your close relationships.
You have the energy. I like you enough.
Yeah, you appreciate your own self-worth, though. And you're able to be yourself in your intimate relationships. And then you're comfortable with expressing your feelings and your hopes and your needs. And that's, in turn, what creates the good relationship that you then begin to experience. It's not some magic fix that you do.
But
It's
you
just,
said it starts with you.
yeah, the more you,
Love yourself.
yeah, exist on the love
Care for
frequency, the more
yourself.
love you receive.
That's right. When you always chasing, what you chase, it runs.
Yeah.
What you chase, it runs. It flees. Anything you chase, it flees. But when you're not chasing, when it finds you, and it's mutual. I feel like the universe done gave it to you. But for those who are still in the waiting room, Sister Cat, I would love some tips on how to overcome or work towards, how to do the shadow work towards overcoming these attachment styles and kind of going more towards because I've been through all of them, girl. So look, I'm still more towards the secure. I don't care what nobody say, but I still, girl, depend on the day.
It depends on the day. That's right. For me, some of the things that I try to pay attention to and work on are, number one, my nonverbal communication skills. Because even though
Can't do that.
you can,
No, bitch, my face don't work like that.
you can.
I swear, I can't see my face. You see my eyeballs, right? I see your eyeballs. You see my face.
But
I
it's
see
more.
your face.
It's more than that.
But I don't even think I be saying nothing with my face. And
But
so,
here's the thing.
I can't do that.
Even though you
Give
may
us some
not be
tips.
aware of it,
Woo.
when you interact with others, you are continuously giving and receiving wordless signals. This is in the gestures that you make, your posture, how much eye contact you make, and things like that. And the nonverbal cues send strong messages to the other person about how you really feel. Okay, and they're picking up on this innately. It's not a superpower. It's not something they're intentionally doing. They're picking up on it innately. But the thing is, if you think back to the childhood, how this is all based off of early childhood experiences, the only way that you really can communicate as an infant, as a child, is non-verbally.
Scream, cry,
Okay.
act a fool.
So in order to work towards this, I just try to be more fully present in the moment. I try to find ways to manage my stress and develop my emotional awareness and just improving how I read body language, Sometimes I'm off, and I'm not picking up on some of these nonverbal.
I'm so sorry. I tried to turn it off when you came out. Because that's how I was feeling too. But keep on going. I'm sorry. Keep going. You nonverbal cues. Because I be wanting to cut that bitch off. But no, clear communication.
Right. So another tip is boosting your emotional intelligence. So in addition to improving how you read and also use nonverbal communication, you can understand your emotions and how to control them. You'll be better able to express your needs and feelings with more emotional intelligence. And some of those keys are self-management. Like, can you manage your impulsive feelings? Can you stay emotionally present? Or does hearing something you don't like send you off the deep end?
Girl, you reading me again?
It's having self-awareness,
No, yeah, I get it.
Are you able to kind of connect to your emotions and understand how they're influencing your thoughts and your actions? Like, do you have social awareness? Are you empathetic? Are you socially comfortable? Do you recognize shared emotional experiences? And then relationship management, and this has been a big one for me, just being able to resolve conflict in a healthy way. Constructive ways that's going to strengthen the bond that you have with someone.
And you're saying emotional intelligence, right?
Emotional
That
intelligence.
That is an art, sis. Nobody just says, oh, I have emotional. I had to understand the definition of emotional intelligence just to learn how to have it. What is
Indeed.
to you, what is the definition of emotional intelligence?
It's everything we just went through. Self-management, self-awareness, social awareness, relationship management. It's all of those things. It's being able to acknowledge, be aware of, be presently in the moment, and not only understand the emotions that you're feeling, but having an awareness of the emotions of those around you as well. And a big piece, again, is just self-management and relationship management.
I love it. That's where I'm trying to be, sister. That's what we show. You know what?
You
That's
and me
where
both.
well, actually, that's where we're staying. Because we done come a long way. I need to cut the imposter syndrome out.
Cut it out.
For real.
Me too.
So we gonna switch this up a little bit because we've been talking about, this little crazy, the little whirlwinds we go in. I got a Dear Kiki.
Ooh.
Dear Kiki, 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 that's me.
Dear Kiki, what do you feel about a hard-working man coming home from work, exhausted, sleeping on the couch instead of the bed with his lady? I come home, take a shower, help with the kids, and anything else that needs to be done around the house. Upstairs is crowded, LOL. So downstairs in the living room is my lounging area after hours. I can watch TV, do work without waking them up upstairs. But the lady seems to think that sleeping in separate rooms means there are underlying problems within the relationship. I just like my space and not to have to wake people up. I'm a night owl. She be on the way to sleep anyways. And if I stay in the bed, I'm up like I'm on cocaine. LOL. Thank you, anonymous friend, for participating in the Dear Kiki. But yeah, it's so many. I don't know. Let's read through it one more time. Let's break it down. So he's a hardworking man. He comes home from work exhausted and sleeping on the couch instead of in the bed with his lady. He said he do everything else around the house, but he's like, the only thing, I do everything you want me to. But to go upstairs because it's crowded because they have kids upstairs. So I feel like, I'm going to be honest with you, bro. I feel like you're kind of making excuses. I feel like you're making excuses for saying I can watch TV, do work after hours. Yeah, when you grow up, boo, eventually those after hours ain't after hours no more. Now, I don't know your work. Go ahead, because you breathing already, bitch. What you have to say?
Well, now that the Limerence part 2 is over, we can really get into it. We can get real.
Let's get funky.
Flag on the play for me was you come home exhausted and you sleep downstairs. But yet it's your man cave. You're up watching TV. You're up doing extra work. You're up doing this. Are you exhausted and going to bed? Or are you up kicking it?
I knew.
Okay. And then as far as it being crowded, look, don't get me wrong. I love to have a house full of kids. And they can do what they want, sleep where they want. But I don't know. I would assume in a marriage that, you just create the space for that.
Go put the motherfuckers in their bed.
Yeah, whatever needs to happen. But,
Yeah.
And call it a insecure attachment style, but I don't think I would like that. I would want my partner to sleep with me like that's in exchange of so many helpful
absolutely
chemicals released and balances happening in both of us.
Serotonin, oxytocin, baby,
and
dopamine.
If we're not doing that, what are we doing?
What are we doing? And you know what? That was with my ex. So I got it. Well, he did snore. But I was still felt weird. Like, you always sleep on the couch? Like, when we gon', you know what I'm saying, hug, touch, have that intimacy. Like, come on now, after so long, that shit get old. You need to come get in this motherfucking bed. And that's on period.
Yeah, I'm gonna need you to get in the bed. If you're my partner, we're sleeping together. If we both gonna sleep, if you sleeping in the closet, I'm sleeping in the closet with you. If I get up under this coffee table, you need to squeeze in because we're sleeping together. That's just my preference anyway. And I do this, and I do that. Should substitute for a desire, something you're sharing with me that you want and you need. Like, that's not cool. Don't tell me, I can't meet this need of yours because I'm doing this, that, and the third. Like, just tell me what it is. My feet stink. I be farting and shit. Like, what's going on?
Okay, fellas, I'm in y'all defense. I know a little bit about him. But he does work night shift. So I'm a night shift worker. And if you're a night shift worker, sometimes you find it hard to date people who work on the opposite shift. That makes sense?
It makes sense, but it's not relevant because you
at home.
We're still talking about why you're not sleeping in the bed.
You working from home.
All of these
you
other
better
things.
roll over and go get upstairs and go come up get in this damn bed and stop playing.
Or let's just talk about why you're not sleeping in the bed.
Yeah.
Let's figure it out.
Let's
compromise. Let's figure out what the next step is, but let's not, have either one of us uncomfortable if we don't have to be. We can just talk about it, figure out
what's
something.
going on. Let's address the elephant in the room. But you know what? Some people they kind of get comfortable with being comfortable. So they just kind of put up with the elephant in the room,
Mm-hmm.
But it's like when you just got that self-worth, that self-love for yourself, that's just and that comes with growing and growth. Come on, I ain't trying to shame nobody. But going through all these attachment styles, when you go to the secure attachment style, you're going to be with somebody that reciprocates. You're going to be with somebody that gives healthy communication. Even if you conflict resolution, it's not a toxic, hostile environment.
But you're going to have to give it too now.
Yeah,
it's not all about what somebody's going to give us. You have to be, actively seeking to give it as well.
Absolutely. That's what I want. That's what I'm saying.
But yeah, I'm the first to admit that I'll not talk to you. I'll shut down.
Yeah.
I'll go mute on you. I won't say a thing. My feelings don't matter to you, then I'm not going to share them. That's an attitude that I've taken.
That little spoiled brat. You know what? And I've had it too. And you know what? It's safer there. That's a community. I mean, no offense. No pun intended. But that's like that. If you don't listen to me, I don't want to hear it.
Yeah.
That's a coping mechanism, though. And it's hard to actually listen to motherfuckers when you actually got to listen to them because you be like, oh,
it ain't hard to listen.
But it's hard to receive when you're not ready. So when you are ready, it's easier to because you seek it, you want it. I want you to tell me when I'm tripping. I want you to tell me when you're uncomfortable. I want you to tell me I can take that. That's an emotional
you're right.
touch.
And goes back to that trust we talk about all the time. Like the person has to trust you, give you the opportunity to display that, to give them that. But a lot of times we've already decided, we make the assumptions based off of previous experiences on what's about to happen next in the current connection. I know I've been guilty of that. So,
girl, me too. So look, I hate it, but I think we might be at the end of the episode because, bruh, I don't know what to tell you. You need to get in the fucking bed with your bitch and bang the hell out of her. Maybe if you acted a little more interested in the bed with her and gave her a reason to want to get a little freaky, man, fuck them kids. FTK. I'm going to get a t-shirt in my store. Fuck them kids. Put that motherfucking babies on the couch. Put them over here. Put them over there. Don't make the kids a no crowd, no excuse. There's something else that's crowding every and it ain't the babies. Because I ain't never known no man, a healthy sexual that wants to knock his wife's or girlfriend's boots off that's going to worry about the kids are in the bed. Man, fuck them kids. Get the fuck in y'all bed. I love y'all. Mwah. Go brush your teeth. Make sure you use the bathroom. See you later. We finna go knock some boots, bitch. So I think like if you want to bring the intimacy back, you're going to have to figure out what's more important. If you're not happy where you are, then maybe, I'm not saying break up your happy home, but like be real with yourself. Just do some reality testing.
Yeah.
What you think, sis?
Yeah, I think it's just, maybe there isn't a problem and we're, assuming. But if there isn't, you're obviously expressing that there's some discomfort in the connection. So just address that. It doesn't have to necessarily be about you sleeping on the couch. Like, what are the feelings behind me sleeping on the couch that you have? Like, help me understand why this is even a thing and just take it from there. But I always just encourage you to
Okay, so I gotta put a little extra on it because I actually know this person. What if it's related to not getting enough sex? Because you know that's how men are. I'm not saying all men, but yeah, most men. You know the hell. What's it? Maslow's hierarchy of needs. You people need air, food, and sex. You know, so like, what if? And then she's had a baby.
There's a lot in that
Yeah,
dynamic.
she just had a baby too.
But I still stand on the root of it is these things are not being discussed, obviously, and they have to be discussed. Like they have to be talked through and worked through. If the connection is one that you want to strengthen, then that's what has to happen. Whether it's sleeping on the couch, not enough sex, the kids, you like Cheerios and I like Captain Crunch, whatever it is, it just has to be talked about.
That's if you want it.
If you want it.
How do you want it? How do you feel? Because we innocent and we out this episode out for real. But hold on before we go, because we're going to wrap it up. Y'all don't know. I've recorded this episode 3 times. My sister has 3 out of 1 was with me by myself. I might throw that out later. I always hate to keep something in the cut. But we did this day, it was a few days ago, 5 days ago. And then we just recorded again today. And when this bitch comes out, it will be my fucking birthday. I am proud of this episode. I am happy with it. I am content with it. Mistakes and all. I ain't editing shit. So, Sister God, before we leave, Empress Elle. I'm going to put your information in the description box below. But for those who want, you can say whatever what you got going on and what you got going on.
So you can find me at Love and Tarot with Empress Elle. That's LTWe.com. And you can find intuitive readings there, intuitive coaching.
Can you spell it LTWe with spell it all the way out?
Sure. LTWEE.com.
Okay.
LTWe.com.
And the description box below.
That's where you can find me.
So are you giving readings?
You can find intuitive readings, intuitive coachings, and some other things. So
yes, honey.
Go check it out.
And you need some coaching from this bitch, because when I tell you, honey, we don't. It's to the end. They said Kiki cut it off. That's what they said. So we gonna leave it at this. If you liked anything, like, share, subscribe, and make sure you get this vibe, because we out. Bye.
Bye.